An emoji is an image that expresses an emotion, an object, or an idea. The Japanese word emoji, which translates to picture character, is made up of the Japanese word e, which means picture, and moji, which means character. Emojis include pictures of people, animals, transportation modes, business ideas, and so on. On the other hand, emoticons are images or combination of ASCII characters that represent facial expressions. The word emoticon represents very well its meaning, and it is a combination of the two words emotion and icon. In his book Writing Space, J. David Bolter talks about the breakout of the visual and how iconic faces have found their way into emails and text messages. He states that the use of icons, an email, and newsgroups suggests that contemporary electronic writers are not interested in the distancing and ambiguity that prose offers, and instead want to give their prose the immediacy of a single voice, and if possible, a face. The linguist and lexicographer Ben Zimmer indicates that humans have always been interested in exploring emotions through some kind of typography. He refers to the first instance of printed emoticons in the March 1881 issue of the satirical Hawk magazine, where facial emotions were presented using printed characters such as parentheses, dashes, and dots displayed vertically. The article referred to them as typographical art. In 1912, Ambrose Bierce proposed the use of snigger point, which is the use of a parenthesis lying horizontally to indicate a smile, in order to add some humor to the text. Finally, in 1982, Scott Fahlman suggested the use of the colon, dash, and right parenthesis in discussion forums to indicate a smiley face and to reduce miscommunication. There are some questions whether the use of emojis and emoticons could mark a return to the pictographic writing that was practiced in ancient times, such as Sumerian pictographic scripts. Zimmer doesn't see the use of emoticons as a threat, but as an enrichment to the written text. These icons, which started being used in text messages and emails, are inserted to give the written messages more context and personality, and to lessen their ambiguity. However, you can't just use emoticons on their own to communicate, as they may not give the intended meaning when they're not accompanied by text. It's the combination of words and emoticons that make the message more powerful and implicit. Emoticons impact the interpretation of the written message, and they play the same functions as nonverbal behavior. Using emoticons and emojis can create miscommunication as well when it comes to cultural context. One example is the emoji that illustrates two folded hands. This emoji, which started in Japan, meant to represent salutation or gratitude. Other cultures can understand it as a symbol of prayer, while another common use of it is to show the exchange of a high five. Nowadays, emojis and emoticons have found their way into business communications and emails. These tools have the potential of changing business communications. Writers try to supplement the meaning of their text by incorporating emoticons that replace the missing visual cues found in face-to-face communication. Interestingly, a study from the University of Cambridge is suggesting that people who use emoticons seem to be more popular and influential. As Bolter indicates, in uniting the verbal and the pictorial, the screen constitutes a visual unit that depends on, but also attempts to surpass, the typography of the printed page.